Is it working? Hey, 2016 self. You know, you want to be like me? You want to grow up like me? Then you got to learn some things. Here are some things you got to learn. Here are some classes that I need to improve on and some things that I did good. Some new things I got was this new Apple Watch. And I also found out that my brother made the Yankees team, Logan Tanaka. Looking back at 2016, I was happy that I was active during the 13th documentary Paideia because I got the skills to talk freely and to share my opinion with others. I've also become a better speaker and it helped me present my new ideas to my design company. I feel like what I learned from this documentary, I could add history to my designs and I could also tell a story behind it. This Paideia also taught me about racism because it shows that a lot of black people are getting targeted and getting made getting made fun of and also violently hurt because of their race. And um, I learned that the government is also calling them certain names and certain stereotypes to show that they're bad. And I feel like the people get a huge influence on this, and I feel like to make sure that in the future or back then that I knew that racism is a bad thing in America. I didn't do good on book log 4. I have to work on using text evidence because I need to make sure that I can explain a design or a skill drawing to propose to a company. These writing skills could help me get a job or to help me explain to people what I mean. Also, this text evidence can show that what I'm saying is true and it's facts. This book log requires evidence, textual evidence, and also it requires personal connections to this article or this section. So I feel like I did good on the personal connection part, but just the writing and trying to use textual evidence to relate to what I'm thinking was kind of hard for me. I'm good at drawing and showing what I found by using symbols and other drawings to show what I've learned. In the middle, for covalent hydrogen and ionic bonds, I made a battery, water, and a gas. And these are three different kinds of bonds. And I kind of put them in like a circle graph where it shows like and it compares the similarities and differences. Later on, this can help me show an idea or something that I've thought of to help for my design company. I feel my labeling is good and also my symbols and drawings because it relates very well to the subject, and it's good that I labeled everything in bold and huge letters to make sure that I can tell the reader where everything is. Um, this is also going to be good for my future, for my job right now, where I have to label certain things to make sure that I get a point across or a message. This is one of my lab write-ups. I need to work on explaining more and showing what's going on in my head to show the big idea that I have. My job will need me to speak on what I think and to show clearly my idea on what it will represent. Like the calorimetry lab was the best representation of explaining the lab because it was the best. It showed how the different components work and what I have learned from this. This experiment also showed me which chips have more chemicals and oils than others. I have also learned a lot from this lab. It was putting rock salt and ice inside water and mixing it. I felt like this is really cool, but I feel like explaining it and showing what's going on and to show what my idea of it is kind of hard to explain. As you can see, I also had to do a lot of drawings in this lab and to show that um, what each part of the experiment was and what we used. Um, this also shows the equipment that we used and how the experiment is supposed to go. For digital media, we had to create a magazine, and this is one of the 22 pages that we had to make. This has a lot. I feel like this has a lot of visual representation and a lot of photos that's eye pleasing. Also the text and where it's placed, I feel it's very strong because it is in thirds on the first page, and the second page it's kind of spread out. Um, we had to also, I feel like the design of the page is also gonna help me today because I had to make a lot of like little tiny adjustments to make sure that the spacing was right and all my paragraphs are in the right place. Also, I had to take my own pictures, so I feel like my photography skills came into play with creating or finding these pictures. I had to find pictures that were eye pleasing and hit certain points. So like rule of thirds, or like I don't know, the placement of the hat. I feel like that really brings across the message, and it shows a lot of interest to other people on to look at the article and read it. I am happy that I got a job over the summer. I've worked to start somewhere so I can use this job experience to get better jobs and also to help me to get a place that I want to be. I've also used this now in the future because I need experience to make sure that I could get a higher job with more pay. I can also use this job and get warehouse experience because I've worked in a warehouse for about 6 weeks. And also learned how to restock shelves and other things that will help me later on that could apply to my next jobs. And I feel like I was very happy that I did this over the summer instead of fooling around and not doing anything because I got money and I got job experience. And I feel like now in the future it helps me and I wouldn't be where I am without it. I wanted to say thank you for watching this, and also that I feel like if I watched this and I got better at it, then my future would be a lot better than what it is now. And I feel like these skills could actually help me now instead of fooling around during school and not making sure my grades are good. And I hope that this could help me improve later on.